Do you feel bad that Drew Brees is still available and you used a second round pick on a quarterback?
No, I don't. I don't like I don't like Breeze at all this year, really.
But you like Brandon Cooks. These things do not compute, Jeff.
Exactly. I like Brandon Cooks because where else is the ball going to an 80-year-old Marcus Colston or overrated Josh Hill?
Fair enough.
I like CJ Spiller a lot. He's a guy I target a lot in my zero RB drafts.
I might be targeting him next round
Oh
now that you mention him.
no!
So
Okay,
if he makes it to the fifth, you're probably not going to get him back. I've
right.
got one pick more before I come up here, and I would like to have another running back by now, but the guys on the board I'm not a big fan of. If Jordan Matthews falls to me here, I think I'm going to take him. Uh, the opportunity to possibly have three top 10 wide receivers after 4 rounds is pretty tempting, and I'm going to go for it here. I do think that part of what makes the zero RB strategy work is that you can, try to find RB value in those, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, all the way down to, the 10th rounds. You basically just play bingo or lottery and take a bunch of flyers on guys, and, the ones that pan out, you can keep. The ones that don't pan out, you can, drop to the waiver wire, pick somebody else up. I think that in this spot here in the 4th round, Jonathan Stewart, the risk that he represents health wise doesn't like that really scares me away. Even though he's like the top ranked running back here, I don't see much worse than some of these other guys below him: Yeldon, Randall, Coleman, Ellington, even Rashad Jennings. We talked about Spiller, so I think I can get more value at running back in the next 2 rounds than I can the value of Jordan Matthews right now. So I'm going to take him. He goes into my flex spot, and I definitely need at this point to start thinking about running back, at least prioritizing it over wide receiver. I've essentially gone zero RB, except I took a running back in the 1st round. Is that bad?
Not good. No, yeah, I think it's perfect.
This is what I don't like about zero RB is that if you have a top 5 pick, you can lock up one of these workhorse backs. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's true. And with Lacey, he's going to get 90% of the carries. I mean, he's a lock to get, I think, about 20 touches a game.
At this point in the draft, I just don't see that much difference between, Jonathan Stewart, Latavius Murray, basically all the running backs who are still available. Like, they all have red
Yeah.
flags or warts that I would rather not deal with. So why
Yeah, I don't
take
like
the
the
risk
schedule.
on one specific guy this round when I could wait one more round and, invest less in someone who I believe is, in a similar tier or risk level of running back.
Right. And there's so much upside in these rounds. Like, we're in round 5 in a 12 person draft. Someone like TJ Yeldon, he could be a top 10 guy. Or Tevin Coleman. I mean, I like Coleman a lot, just his measurables. I think he should easily beat out Freeman. And I don't know, like, these guys, I mean, they're all lottery tickets you're taking pretty much. And if one or two of these guys bust out, then you can really win your league.
So now that you've got a quarterback, a running back, and 2 wide receivers, you're kind of in the point where you're taking best player available, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And in any draft that I'm actually trying to win the league, I always take best player available, and usually that falls under the zero RB theory, or my at least mine. So, but right now, yeah, it's definitely best player available. In the 4th and 5th round, I like Kelsey a lot. I don't know if he's been taken or not. I like Travis Kelsey's upside quite a bit, and right now I'm targeting kind of T.J. Yeldon.
Kelsey is available. He's ranked below Greg Olsen here on ESPN, which seems like a dubious stance.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't agree with that, but
I think Olsen has a higher floor. I mean, because he's a veteran. He's more of a household name probably. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Olsen. Olsen's great. Just Kelsey really could post Gronk type numbers this year. He looks like Gronkowski. If you look at him, he looks like a dang clone of Gronk. But he has Alex Smith.
it's one of the reasons I don't like Gronk as an early pick is because Kelsey is available here in the 5th and 6th rounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I like Kelsey a lot. Or in the later rounds, I've been taking Tyler Eifert in a lot of my leagues too, like the 10th round. Or Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz has been following ADP actually. I took him in like the 10th round in an MFL 10. If Ertz actually gets normal playing time, I mean, all he needs to be on the field is if he's on the field about 60% of the snaps. I think Ertz is a shoe-in for a top 5 tight end.
All right, back to me here. I got a running back spot to fill, a tight end spot to fill, and then bench spots because I'm not taking a QB, I'm not taking a kicker or defense here, and I will continue to rail against the fact that ESPN requires you to pick all of these positions, but that's neither here nor there at this point. I do think I'm going to take a running back, so let's sort specifically by those. I mean, there are a fair amount of guys I like here. Like, I don't hate Stewart. I just don't really like him. If I pass on Spiller, you're going to get him, which I don't like that at all. But, again, this isn't a PPR league, so I don't mind letting him slip. I'm curious to see who I have ranked highest, so we're going to sort by that here on the Fake Football. These are our staff rankings, but, I mean, if you're smart, you'll sort just by my rankings. I kid, of course. These other Jeff and Rich do great rankings as well. It looks like I have. Let's see who is available. Who am I looking at? Stewart. Oh man, I'm down on Stewart. I should probably figure this out. I got 20 seconds.
Get time. Nick Spiller.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have Blunt and Ellington ranked higher than Stewart, so I'll stick to that. Nah, screw it. I don't want you to get CJ Spiller. I'm taking Spiller.
Thanks. Such a nice guy.
I am history's greatest monster, Jeff.
Yeah. Don't make me take Stewart. Stewart's really falling. He's almost 20 picks later than his rank here on ESPN. I wonder what his ADP is. But I like Stewart a lot more in a non-PPR.
You mean in leagues where Cam Newton will vulture all of his touchdowns?
Yeah, exactly.
God.
That's terrible. Wow.
It's possible I should have just taken another wide receiver there. The more I think about it,
Oh,
if only because I really don't like Spiller or again, I don't like any of these guys more than the next guy, and that is concerning.
Right.
Oh, you're on the clock here. Who are you going to take?
Clock. Yeah, I'm going to pass on Stewart. I'm thinking maybe Yeldon. Either Yeldon. I would usually take Kelsey, but he's ranked all the way down to number 70. And I actually picked 65th, so maybe I can roll the dice and hope that's me. And if Kelsey gets taken, I'll take someone like Allen Robinson. But I like T.J. Yeldon a lot. And these days, a running back that's taken in the second round in the real NFL draft must be special, And so I like him a lot. I mean, he's an Alabama kid. He went 3 years in a pro-style offense, and Jacksonville's arrow is definitely pointing up. So I think the Jags get about 7 or 8 wins this year. I already bet they're over the season win total. So I like Yeldon. I mean, he should be. He's going to get all the carries he can handle, and so he should get about 1,000 yards with a handful of catches and hopefully 7 or 8 touchdowns. And as an RB2, I'll take it.
I like it. I mean. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking any of these running backs. Chris Ivory and Jonathan Stewart went right after you took Yeldon, and then there goes Rashad Jennings. So, yeah. I mean...
I started the run, yes.
Yeah. Hey, man, I started that with Spiller. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Give me some credit.
I see a Deshaun Jackson and a Drew Brees.
Yeah. But, I mean, you're right. There's all of these guys are close enough in value that basically you just want to be the last one to pick one.
Yeah, that's true. Amir Abdullah, I mean, there's a lot of love for him. I have a feeling Abdullah is a guy that's going to be taken in the 3rd round pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. By the time the regular season starts, it'll depend on how he looks in preseason, actual games that people can watch. Because right now we're still so dependent upon practice reports and, coach speak that, God, who the hell knows what any of that stuff means? Half the time these beat reporters are trying to drive a story. Some of them are good, don't get me wrong. But other times, these are narratives being pushed by the teams, by the players, by the coaches, and you can't put too much stock into them.
Yep, that's true. It's definitely 100% true. And I think a lot of people just assume that Joique Bell in Detroit's going to be the starting running back, and I don't know. I just don't think he's that good, and he's also hurt. So
the injury is what makes me like Abdullah. The fact that Bell is already hurt, which means that Abdullah is. Did you just get taken? Oh, Kelsey got taken.
Travis Kelce.
You rolled the dice and you lost, Jeff. Haven't you learned that lesson?
Yep. Yeah. Well, I do live in Vegas.
I was going to say that's got to be the first one you will learn is stay away from the craps table and the roulette wheel.
100%. Yes. All right. Well, this is about the 3rd time in this draft that my guy got taken right before I wanted to take him.
You can't argue with the Dez one. Dez just was slipping for some reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Who are you taking?
I like Vincent Jackson for his upside. Looking at other guys, I like Macklin a lot. Allen Robinson looks like I'm probably going light out. I'm gonna actually take a pie pass on Robinson. Looking down. All right, I'm gonna take Jeremy Macklin.
Very safe
Welcome
pick.
Yes.
Very unlike you.
I know, right? I know. It's such a boring pick. But with Macklin, I mean, Alex Smith has to throw at least one touchdown to a receiver this year, right?
Hey, look, anytime you can lock up Alex Smith's number one receiver, you got to do it.
You do it. Damn it.
You just got to.
Oh, man. But he got paid. He's Andy Reid's boy. He's still only, 26? I think he's getting 80 or 90 catches, about 7 touchdowns. I mean, I think he's very high floor. And kind of a low ceiling or low to, he's he's a wide receiver 3 that you're going to draft as a wide receiver 3 that he's probably going to return wide receiver 2 value.
Yeah, wide receiver like 2.5 probably.
2.5, yeah. A solid guy that won't hurt you,
Mm-hmm.
Safe pick.
For sure. And I mean, if you've set kind of an upside kind of play with most of your other picks, like you're taking Lamar Miller and TJ Yeldon, and even Brandon Cooks to some extent. I think all these guys are somewhat variable plays in terms of their week-to-week production. Having a steady guy like Jeremy Macklin can do a lot to solidify your roster.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. Your team's looking pretty good.
I like my team a very large amount, which is terrifying. Actually, I hate that Spiller pick. Outside of PPR, well, I don't hate it, but I mean, it's such a like trendy sort of pick to make.
It is
to the point where like anytime that starts to happen with the picture making, you should really try to reevaluate what you're looking at and what you're trying to do, because chances are the hype is being overblown in like 95% of cases. And I think with Spiller, we might be there.
Right.
I've seen him go in like the 3rd or 4th round of some drafts. I took him in the 5th, which doesn't feel quite as dirty. But at the same time, I don't feel great about it. I think that there's a lot of risk there just because he's not going to get goal line carries, and he is very dependent on, scoring from far away from the goal line.
Yeah. And he's going to get 80 or 90 catches, which isn't really going to help in non-PPR. Did you hear the news today is he's 3rd on the depth chart?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Again,
exactly.
That's that coach speak that no one really cares about.
Right.
I think I'm going to take another running back here. I am going to select Blunt. I actually have him ranked higher than Spiller for redraft. And,
nice.
A lot of other guys, as you can see here. But I don't care that he's suspended for whatever it is, 1 or 2 games.
It's just 1 game.
Yeah,
sure.
When the Patriots are winning, he gets touchdowns, and he's a really good closer. And I think that you can predict that to some extent on a week-to-week basis. And the fact that he's missing a game or 2 probably just means that he'll stay healthier longer. I don't think this is a huge upside play, but it is a pick that I don't mind making at this point in the draft, especially after I made like a very high upside play with Spiller.
Right. I like it a lot. You're getting a discount with them, too, because of the 1 game. Or it might be a 2-game suspension. I think it's 1. And anytime you can lock up a goal line running back on one of the top teams in the NFL who are usually winning, it's always a good thing. He's one of the safest bets for double-digit touchdowns, So, yeah, I like Blount a lot. I like White a lot, too, as a sleeper later on. James White.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking PPR, though, at that point?
I'm mainly talking PPR because it looks like he's going to try to at least take over that Vereen role. But Tavares Cadet is apparently in there too. But White's clearly the better talent there. But White, I mean, the rumors, it's coach speaking again, but the rumors for White is that he has 3-down RB potential. So he's somebody that could really win you the league, and you're going to get him almost at the end of the draft. Like say if LeGarrette Blount gets hurt, and if White really does that 3-down ability, if he's a Wisconsin running back, I mean, I think he held the job over Melvin Gordon for a year or 2. So he could be awesome, but he could also be like every other running back, and he could do nothing. So, especially Patriot running back, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, that's my biggest fear with all of those guys is just that Belichick is such a monster that he's gonna ruin everyone's fun. Like whether you're a Blunt owner or a White owner or a Tavares Cadet owner, like you can't win with that guy. He just I feel like he screws with fantasy owners on purpose.
Yeah, He's done it his whole career. It's like he knows that people love fantasy, so he's like, nope.
Yeah, he's
People... Jonas great. You're gonna get 300 yards one week,
and then I'm going to bench you forever. Welcome to the doghouse.
He is truly the evil empire.
Speaking of the doghouse, my dog just walked over. If she barks, I apologize.